What's up, everybody? Welcome back out here in the tent, listening to music, working on the old Evinrude here. I'm gonna make a short video on what we're doing here and how I'm working on this. It's a rainy, pretty cold day. Water's got in here a little bit. It's just it's a ooky day. But I want to turn the phone around and talk about something real quick, and we're gonna get into it, guys. All right, guys. I've already got this broke loose. I didn't film me breaking it loose because I was kind of worried it wouldn't come loose. That's kind of what I want to talk about real quick. Is I had FedEx overnight me a part from Marine Tech. They did not. I paid for this part. It cost me like close to $80 having it overnighted. But for my particular model here is the Evinrude E-Tech single cylinder 75-115K1010. Is what mine was. So I actually went through Marine Tech, man. These guys are awesome, and got this tool right here, and it saved the day. And what was really great is, I don't know if they normally do this. I don't know if you order it from somewhere else, but it came with these tiny little pins. Was what came wrapped with this in the package. See, I got another one of these. I ordered off Amazon from Marine Tech itself, but I didn't really pay enough attention that there's different sizes. I got the 35 millimeter, and I thought that it would fit, but this one's kind of an awkward size. That's why it really doesn't fit anything else other than these E-Techs. This K1010, it's a 38 millimeter. And you can see it, 38L MT004. And that made a world of difference. Before that, after I ordered that other part and it wasn't right, I got a spanner wrench, which is over there somewhere, and that's how I ended up stripping this, because it wasn't holding properly, and it was just $15 a stupid, and I thought I was going to end up hitting my shaft there, so I bailed on that real quick, and I ordered this part here. And here's a list. If you're doing this job and you see this video, here's a list of the part you need. I'll hold it for a second so y'all can screenshot it. Let's flatten it out real good, because not just my subscribers will watch this video. Order these things. It's nice because you get 3 points of connection, and there's certain applications with other ones that you can get 4 points of connection. And with this big breaker bar well, it's really a torque wrench, but it makes a great breaker bar because it's not a very good torque wrench, but whatever. It popped it off really well. It did it just like that. I was able to pop it off. But let's get this off, and I got some more stuff I got to do. So let's just get at it, guys. I just wanted to talk about that for a minute because I'm very happy that this actually works, and it worked well. It didn't take me long. I wasn't worried about it stripping or bending. So, all right, guys, let's get at it. All right, guys, we flipped over here to... I've done pulled these pins. Once you pull these pins out, use... Grab this side. I've got so much stuff laying over here. I had to go at this thing several angles. I don't know. I think I put my pin thing inside there. I put the pins in here. It's a little clasp thing just like this. It doesn't take a second to just pull those pins out. And what I'm smacking this thing with, if I can find it, is I've done this already to kind of feel my pressure. All right, guys. I flipped over. I've got a brass dowel here and a hammer. I'm going to push this pin on through. Won't take just a second. I'm gonna have to go get my tripod and my other camera, because this isn't ideal. All right, first pin out. This is loosened up. See, with this, can y'all see anything? I can't see this. Let's move this around here. These 3 points of connection here, you're able to just, and with this kind of wrench, makes it really easy. Put this in here, these holes. And it just connects, and it will spin. See it spinning? Now, I should have wrapped this up, but it came out so easy and didn't pop up. I just put it on there to test it, and I was able to pop it right loose with this bar. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this head unscrewed. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this shaft out of that without touching this real quick. All right, guys, boy, I look like a wild animal right now. I've been prying on it. Actually, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that hard. The lighting is horrible in here. Even though this camera doesn't seem like it, I tried to set up my DSLR, and it just, you can't see up in here properly, so it doesn't work well. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna talk about what we're doing and how I done it, and I'm gonna explain it the best I can to a T. All right, what we've done here, we have the shaft out. And I know I wasn't able to film it due to the fact that I'm gonna explain it because I did it really easily, and I was able to leave the lower unit in here as I did it. So how I done this is I completed unscrewing the cap, and once I got the cap unscrewed to where it would just freely flow, this pin's already out. It's funny, I got a dollar bill. I didn't want to scratch the top of this. So that's my motor keeper. I just lifted on the lower unit here, lifted up, and it wasn't too hard. I mean, it's a few hundred pounds, but lifted it up, and I was just able to slide the shaft completely out of the cylinder. There's still oil in there. Now, this may be a little bit harder to get back in. We'll see, but that is out, and this, nothing has to be done down here. So this is fine. I need to get in here and make sure no debris is in my cylinder head. And if it looks like there's some old oil, it might be a good idea to get rid of that. But all right, we were able to get that out. All right, guys, so we got that out. Here's the shaft, and this is for, I mean, a lot of my subscribers are going to watch this video at first, and other people may watch it on down the road. If you have one of these Evinrude E-Tech early models, I have the paper in there. I forgot to bring it back out here. When you replace this end cap, it tells you specifically you spend $170. You get O-rings and another cap, and it tells you this early model, that cap will not work due to the fact that it has this indention. That indention. The reason it has it is because the way the top of this is made in that little piece right there is able to fit in there perfectly. So unfortunately, with this model, in order to keep from damaging anything, you can't use the new end cap, which I'm pretty bummed out about. I have to use this scratched up old end cap, but whatever. So you have to reseal it. But before we can reseal it, we have to get this bottom piece off. Now, I've seen a lot of guys online, and they'll take and put this thing in a vise. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shaft back in here, and I'm going to get underneath of it with a plate, and I'm going to either just break it loose, then take it back out and unscrew it all the way, or I'm going to do it all the way. I'm probably just going to break it loose, and then I'm going to take it back out and get these bearings out so I can watch them. And that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to put the unit back in here, let it hang down. All right, guys. Well, before I put it in there, and I realized after I cut from that last clip, I don't have to lift the motor up because I can just move it into place because it's free. I don't know what I was thinking. But we ran into a greater problem. This is the one that I ordered that fits from Marine Tech. This takes off the top cap right here. Well, I didn't think about this being a different size. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind. But my spanner wrench is too big. The pieces that go in the spanner wrench are too big. So that won't work. So I got to thinking that one part that I ordered that was too small, because that's how much smaller that one is than the one that I had to get for this whatever, it doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to state is God is good. Because if I take that piece out and these two pieces, it actually fits perfect. I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know if I can do it right. It fits perfect on there. So I have 2 points of connection on the side. So, hey, it's a mistake. It's it was like $60. I thought that was a big mistake. I would never use it, and there you go. God is good. I got a purpose for it. So it does work. So yay, I don't have to order nothing else and stop what I'm doing. So let's get this thing back in here, on here, get under here, and get to cranking and get this thing popped loose. All right, guys. So what I've decided, well, what I did was, is I hate that I'm not filming this properly, but I'm still giving y'all the idea of how to do it. I put the pin back in there, held it down, I put the wrench on it, and I broke it loose. And as you can see, the pins are the springs and the little ball bearings are starting to come out. And I broke it up and I broke it loose enough that I felt that I brought it up here and I took the pin just to not stick any foreign objects and scratch anything. I stuck the pin in here and I'm holding it with my left hand. and I'm taking this with my rod and I'm turning it until these pop loose. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing, guys, until I get this off. Okay, guys, I got this off here. It was kind of a pain. I'm so happy that I messed up and ordered that extra part. I wouldn't have got that, boy, this would have been rough. But the way I done it is this fits in over this. It goes over the O-ring. You just pop it out. This unscrews off like this, and I was able just to leave these springs in their original spots. I may clean them up and take them out anyway, but as you can see, the ball bearing fits. Well, there's like a little, hold up, guys. There's like a little pin that goes in there, and on the other side of that pin is the bearing. So if you mess up and they pop out, it's ball bearing on the bottom, pin, and then spring. Then this piece. All right, guys, I'm gonna get this pulled off here, wipe it up, and then we're gonna go in the house and switch these O-rings out. And that's where we're headed next. All right, guys. All right, guys, here's the part we got it off. But I want to show y'all here. It says, notice the end cap from hydraulic assembly pin 5005756 contains a machined groove on its underside. It must be resealed and reused. The new end cap included with the seal kit does not contain the match groove. Do not use the new end cap. And as you can see here, this is that one that I'm not supposed to use a different one. I have to reuse this one, which is unfortunate because you can see the groove right there. And with this new end cap that they send you, which I would really like to use, is smooth. All right, guys. Well, after sitting here thinking about this for a little bit, I watched some other videos on YouTube, and it seems to me, because I got this original piece, this part down here is what touches, and there's a pin right there that goes in there. I think this is just like an anti-deterrent to keep from making other parties make these end caps for these. I think that's what it was, because it's extra money to machine these out like this and all this stuff, so they built this little anti-thing. So I've seen other people change it, and it looked like to me this piece was completely drilled out, like they drilled this down to make this all flush. That's what it looked like to me when I seen it, but I might be wrong. But I think I got to thinking about, wait, I'm going to take and leave that pin out, because that pin makes it stick up even further. When I was lifting the motor up and putting it down, this thing was still down in there a ways. I mean, with my motor, I think it would have to be all the way up for this to actually hit the bottom of this cylinder. So, I don't know. I might just use this end cap and go with it and then just throw a Hail Mary and see what happens. All right, guys, I'm back out here. I got the end cap put back on there for the springs, and then I lifted the motor back up, which I'm wore out, and I placed it down in there. And see, this is at its maximum tilt right now, which I never do. So therefore, I know with this cap, which I'm not telling anybody to do this, but from what I looked at and what I'm thinking about is, you got to realize these companies got to make profit. I mean, they are a company. When they sell you the motor, they want to keep selling you stuff afterwards. So a lot of times companies will put deterrents to keep other market from making parts for it, or you being able to use other parts on things. And that's a guarantee what that pin was and that little popped up piece. So therefore, when I take this, I'm going to tighten it down enough, and then I'm going to take the trim and tilt and I'm going to drop it a little bit, and then I'm going to finish tightening it off. And next time, if I ever had to lift this motor this high, I mean, it's almost completely up. I never use this pin thing. I just don't use it. So next time if I'm doing this, I already know, and I need to unloosen this, bring it up some, loosen this, and then bring it on up. And that's that. But I think it will be just fine. I actually don't think with the clearance after I put this in, because the motor can lift up even more. Like you can see there, I need to lift the motor up a little bit more, and it will push that down a little bit more when I put that pin in. But I'm going to tighten this down first. See, I have all that resistance because all that fluid is filled in here. Once I tighten it, I will curve the thing on. The fluid will move over here, and this cylinder will drop. And I think that this end cap will work.